Okay, well, hello. Good afternoon. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Great.
Doing good. It's a
Uh,
little hot in New York City. I don't know where you are, but it's like 90 something here.
oh yeah, well, I'm deep in the heart of Texas in Dallas, so it's
Oh,
plenty
gee.
high here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're high.
Yeah, I think we got the same weather right about now, so I'm just trying not to sweat through the suit, but I wanted to look good for you.
Thank you.
Thankfully, I don't have to give a crumb catcher style presentation this time.
Oh,
So,
Lord. Yeah. Yeah. It was an unbearably hot atmosphere, Lorraine. You remember that? I mean,
Oh
we
my
were
gosh.
shooting, the windows were blocked out on
Yeah.
that house, and they killed the air conditioning during the takes.
yeah.
Some of those takes were multiple pages long. And
Yeah.
I remember Cameron, one of our producers and in charge of wardrobe, would save me after every take. She would bring this menthol ice pack and just put it
Right.
on my neck and on my chest. It was just like, oh, thank you, because it was easily close to 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Mm. And then with the lights and everything, oh my goodness,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it was great. And I'm in a suit, and
Yeah.
we're doing this for several days. I mean, just the crumb catcher presentation scene took several days, and all of them were in the 90s and humid. It was just no fun.
Yeah, where in the world did you film this? Because I mean, it looked like a nice place to be.
We actually filmed it in hell. We actually went to hell and filmed there
That's good.
directly in hell. Chris had some connections, so we worked in hell, and I'd been there before. No, we filmed in upstate New York. We were based in Fishkill, and
Hmm.
then the house we shot in. Do you remember, Lorraine? Was I forget the town? It was near
Millbrook or Mel,
near Millbrook or in
yeah,
Millbrook.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
all upstate New York.
Yeah.
Well, if you were filming in hell, the perfect devil is Larry, so that's okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
he's been bedeviling me for many years now.
That's right. Well, I love that guy. We've had him on a couple of times. It's never dull. And so it's when you see something come through that's got his name on it, you must think I got to do this, right?
Well, I mean, Larry is such a dear friend to me at this point, in addition to being a mentor. And I mean, we've worked together in every possible capacity. I mean, I've been in movies he's directed. We've done radio plays that he's written. We've done, live performances at Lincoln Center. We've done, interviews together. We've done Edgar Allan Poe tales together. So, we're virtually the same age, and he grew up in New York. I grew up in New Jersey. So, well, a lot of our influences were the same, but he's just a joy to be friends with, and so brilliant, so intellectual, and so modest. He doesn't lord it in your face, but don't mistake his approachability for lack of whatever, because the man has the smarts. Larry does.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, despite all of the heat and other indie movie problems, it looked like or like a great group of people to be around. And was there a day or a scene or a moment for each of you where you're just kind of looking around the set, going, "Okay, this is going to be really good."
Lorraine, go for it.
Um, I think when I walked into the house, actually, I saw the paintings and I saw the way that they were going to shoot it. And and then maybe the crumb catcher scene. It took 4 days to shoot, right? Four, John? I think, yeah.
I
And it
think
was
four,
just
yeah.
so intricate, and we got to play around, and our cinematographer was fantastic. I think then I knew it was going to be really good. Yeah, I had a feeling. And Chris worked just really hard, and that
Yeah.
Oh
was
yeah.
really hard. And that was interesting. And I don't think I've been quite worked like that before. We did a lot of takes. And I knew that he was perfectionist. I knew he was going to get what he wanted. So I knew it was going to be good.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing with Chris, and he's the first to admit it, is that he doesn't always know what he wants, and but that actually opens things up, because he gives you the freedom to play with it, and he knows what he wants when he sees it. So in the meantime, you can play with it and embellish it, and go down blind alleys and all of that. um but to answer your question, I think we had some rehearsal time early on, and that was good to cement some of the relationships. It wasn't so good for the logistics because I knew that was going to change once we got on set and had an actual table and we were in the space and Adam was moving the camera around. So it wasn't there, but I think I really began to connect with the other actors, and casts always say this, but you know, if you have 28 actors, it's hard to do. But with the four of us, the core four, you know, we really genuinely liked each other and enjoyed each other's company. And I can't imagine what it would have been like if it wasn't like that, you know? So I remember, you know, some of the car drives that we would take to set, take a half an hour to get to set, half an hour home at the end, and all we do is bitch and gripe as actors do. But the four of us really blended together. And I always felt like everybody had your back. If I threw a look to Lorraine, I knew she was going to keep me in the scene. If I looked at Ella, you know, she was going to give me something back. And you know, you can't put a price on that. It was just a great environment, the cast. So I give a lot of credit to Chris for putting the four of us in one set and letting us play.
I love that. You know, people look at these films and they look up at the screen, you know, they did a fantastic festival and they just think, this is what I want to do. And you guys make it look easy. You know, obviously we're not seeing all the, you know, blood, sweat, and tears behind that. But what kind of advice do each of you give to those that are looking up to what you're doing and going, that's a cool career, I want to do that?
Well, it's easy to get seduced by the result of what we do, but it's the ultimate cliche. But being an actor is truly all about the journey. And if you're not in it for the journey, then get out of it now. Because if what you want is to see yourself on the big screen, well, that's bullshit. I mean, if what you want is to explore characters and roles and language and emotion and passion, now you're going down the right trail. But don't be so fixated on the end result of, wow, eating popcorn and seeing you on the big screen. Because that happens for some people, doesn't happen to others. There are brilliant talents out there that never get a role. And there are, you know, people that can't walk and chew gum at the same time that are starring in movies. So don't worry about the end result. Enjoy the process of being an actor. Enjoy exploring and rehearsing. And then whatever happens will happen, and you can live with it.
Yeah, well said, Lorraine.
He said it so well, you know, and have faith. If this is what you want to do, then just, you know, stick at it and have faith. And I say, take classes. I took a lot of acting classes, a lot. And I said with a lot of different teachers and a lot of different techniques. And it just keeps you in the work and it keeps you involved. Do theater, do off Broadway, you know, write your own, try writing a short story and, you know, putting a group together and filming it and doing that is wonderful as well. But yeah. Stay in the creative process.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you'll like this. So my co-host is a New Jersey native, Drew Pearson. He it was one of our great Dallas Cowboys, caught the Hail Mary, went in the Hall of Fame. And we love to ask people their Hail Mary moment, which is that moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. What do you suppose it was for each of you?
Boy, that's a great question and a deep question. And I'm not sure where exactly the answer would lie. I mean, in terms of, are you talking specifically about our careers and about
your life? Yeah, just a moment where your back's up against the wall and you're just like, all right, here we go. Well,
I started in New York in '87, right out of graduate school. And I was starting to do a lot of television work. I was on soaps. I was doing commercials, and but I really wanted to do theater. And I got some opportunities in the 1990s to do some Arthur Miller plays. One on Broadway with Allison Janney, which was A View from the Bridge, and then a national tour actually before that with Hal Holbrook of Death of a Salesman. And I kind of was doing that against my advisors' opinion. They didn't want me to go be doing theater. You know, they wanted me to do some TV and episodic and film work. And it's not that I didn't want to do that, but I wasn't going to walk away from these opportunities either. So I felt like I had a choice at that point. I was young enough and that I wanted to do the roles I wanted to do. And so I did. And that probably, you know, I probably cost myself a few years or several years where I could have been doing film or television, but I was so happy and so proud to be doing the theater that I was doing. So if that's what you mean by the question, then I guess it was some time for me in the 90s when I chose to play some roles like, you know, Happy Loman and Eddie Carbone and on Broadway and stuff that I was so glad I made that choice.
Yeah, how could you not? I love that you did that. That's great. And Lorraine?
I think maybe sort of things that are happening now, like trying to put my stuff out there with like writing and putting people together and, you know, projects together and producing. I just produced something that I'm kind of proud of, and with Roy Culkin and Fred Armisen and these people, and brought the producer together and the director together, and I star in it. I think that's really terrifying for me. So throwing myself out there in that way.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, part of that is that success mindset. And we talk about that on the show. And whether you're feeling it or not, you have to just go ahead. And sometimes, you know, as creative types, we're hard on ourselves. So is there something each of you tell yourself that kind of keeps you on that right path, even when things are tough?
Well, I have a daughter, and she's 20 now, but you know, having a daughter, and again, I don't want to throw cliches out there, but it puts so many things in perspective that you know, if I'm unemployed for a few months as an actor, does it really matter when my daughter is bringing such joy and fulfillment to my life? I mean, having that perspective, you know, it just really got me through any challenges or difficult times. So I don't have any mantra that I repeat or anything. One thing I try and do is not get too high and not get too low. I can tell you that, because, you know, just live in the middle. You're much better off. And if you have a daughter to live with, that's very helpful.
Yes, absolutely. How about you, Lorraine?
I've had dogs, and I'm in love with them. So I have my husband and my dog, and they keep me very grounded. I have a blue heeler puppy, and so yeah, that would be, and nature that keeps me grounded.
Yeah. I love that. Well, there's so much going on in this movie. It's really enjoyable to watch, which, you know, is what I'm sure they were hoping. But there's also a lot being said here too, and there's also a lot to think about. We're in crazy times with some really interesting characters running around out there. And so, what are you hoping that each of you hoping that people will think about, talk about, you know, discuss after they see this?
Well, I believe that every American home should have a crumb catcher attached to the table, and until they do, damn it, I won't rest, because you only live once. So get swept up. That's my advice. Get swept away this summer by crumb catcher. I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of lofty themes being slung around about crumb catcher, whatever, but I wasn't thinking about any of that when we were making the movie. I mean, I was trying to be inside John Spinelli as much as possible. And when I saw the finished film, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. The juxtaposition of the two different couples, and, you know, and I see what Chris is doing here and whatnot. So I'm just proud that the film is rich enough that you can take away a lot of different things from it. You know, if you want to laugh at it, there's a lot of great one-liners and funny moments. If you want to focus on the deeper themes, you can do that too. So the bottom line is I hope people are entertained. You know, it's not a history lesson. They got to be entertained, even if they're unsettled. You know, I hope that they'll be entertained, you know.
Yeah, well said. And then, of course, after seeing this, I can't wait to see what each of you are doing after this. So what do you have coming up next?
First, I want to answer that question. I think that
Well, I have a phone call right now that I've got to take. Oh, sorry. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's it. Go ahead, Lorraine. I'm sorry.
Oh, just that we take away that we're fragile, broken people, you know, fragile and with a need to survive. And I feel that love kind of wins in the end. I know that's very, but it does in a way. And, you know, from these very fragile, broken people.
Yeah.
And just to answer your other question, I think I'm going to do another thing with Larry. I think we're going to do a sequel to Blackout. I don't know how much he's talked about that and how much I should talk about it, but I played Pastor Francis in Blackout, and I know he's going to bring me back in the sequel. So I'm really looking forward to that because again, it's getting the band together again.
Yeah, I love that. And then Lorraine, of course, we have that movie that you're producing coming up as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's something.
Wow, that's so cool. Well, we're so excited for both of you. We're excited for everybody to see this crazy and fun movie, and it's a great showcase for both of you. And I know that people really enjoy it, and I look forward to talking to you again soon, and following along with whatever else you have coming up with for us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, we'll see you guys later. Thank you.